We're now officially less than a week away from the first episode of Big Brother 27. Now, we're still a little over a week away from getting the live feeds because, per usual, production wants to set the game as they want it to begin and end from the very beginning. And that's why, you continue to have more and more censorship of the feeds with these sort of delays, with having the feeds come on 3 days after the first episode. But anyway, with the house reveal, the speculation about it being sort of a mystery theme has been confirmed. Judging by the looks of the house, which it seems like a lot of people like. Me personally, I've really never cared about how the house looks because once the feeds are going, I'm not still like admiring the house. But I understand when people are desperate for any bits and pieces of information to talk about obsessively, of course, they act as if they're so all consumed with how the house looks. But again, it does look good. And they are bringing back the bunk beds from season 1. So there's that. Now, according to Julie, when she was doing her little interview, she did reveal that a lot of the decor might actually manifest itself into, twist in the game. Because this is supposed to be a summer of mystery, confirmed by CBS, where they promise to have a masked visitor, a secret accomplice, and the shocking arrival of a polarizing mystery house guest who will no doubt be entering the game. And you can pretty much guarantee whoever this former house guest is, or maybe it's somebody from another show, but more than likely it'll be a former house guest. And you can already mark them down as either being at finale night or at least being at final 6. Because every single time they bring house guests back, they always make it to the end or near the end. Every single time. But also what this highlights is that there's going to be plenty of opportunity for production manipulation with all of this nonsense involved. Now, people have speculated who could be the polarizing house guest. I do want to touch on that. One interesting suggestion, someone said, what if it's Kyle? There's people who believe he's a Klansman, obviously, mainly because he's white and had the audacity to play the game for himself. And then there's others who, rightfully saw him as someone that got screwed and was doing really well at the game and setting himself up as being one of the newer sort of iconic players until production screwed him. And after all the slander that CBS enabled when it comes to Kyle, I mean, it's the least that they can do, pay him a little extra money to become a return house guest. Now, if that's the case, he'll be a returning house guest that won't make it to finale night because, ultimately he's still a white dude. Now, if it's a POC, a colored person, as they like to say, as the mysterious returning house guest, then yeah, they're most definitely going to make it to finale or final 6. Kind of like Sari. And with that, there's really not much else to say. It's just, again, a number of opportunities for a lot of production involvement. Masked visitor, secret accomplice, and a mystery house guest. So you're going to have multiple people involved. Now, other people speculated it could be Janky, the polarizing mystery house guest. Because remember, at the end of Big Brother 26, they did tease Janky continuing. And we know that they're going to bring back the AI arena. It wasn't one of the more recent good twists, which of course they had to ruin it because they ran it too long. It should have just been 4 weeks. But anyway, with those things in play, the AI arena, along with all of this Accomplice and Visitor and Mysterious Houseguest, again, there's going to be ample opportunities to, save Houseguests that they don't want to go. Basically their diversity quotas that they don't want to go, or the people who will protect the diversity quotas by sacrificing their own game in the name of DEI. But yeah. Again, I will compliment the house. It does look nice. The interiors I saw, sort of a Victorian style home. But yeah, now we just wait for the countdown because it's pretty much here. And the main thing that's always interesting is just seeing who are they going to bring in for their diversity quotas to push forth during the game. Are we going to at least get a half masculine POC colored? Because they've been quite effeminate, since they began the BBDEI era. Like all the colored males they've put in the game have been very emasculated and effeminate. And so, they at least put in a half masculine man this season. Again, when you really think about it, when's the last time they've had a man with any sort of sense of testosterone and masculinity about him? Like a man that would, tell women to be quiet or shut up in their face and, not kiss their butts. Like a Jackson Mickey. I guess that would be the last time we've had something like that, akin to that. Well, 22, because, you did have Memphis in the house. That's pathetic. It's like outside of the diversity quota nonsense, you just haven't had any masculine men. And then when it comes to the women, you really haven't had any super hot chicks. Like, I remember when Jeff used to do the interviews, and the first time I saw like Jessica Graff at the time, I was like, damn, she's fine. Like, I haven't had like that type of female really enter the house. There's been attractive women, but not like, damn, she's fine. Because I thought Kirsten, I think her name was, from 25, was attractive, but she was more sort of like bimbo attractive. The obvious inflated blue boobs. But she wasn't like damn fine like a Jessica Graff. So it's like everything they've downgraded on. But anyway, ultimately we'll see the cast. I'm thinking, maybe 2 days before the first episode airs, 3 max. As always, we shall see.